Start from the introduction. Over the last few years, increased global interdependence and global warming issues rises in strategic importance of the stakeholders and also give a new impact to the definition of the corporate social responsibility, but have also substantially changes the basic philosophy of business and society. The modern concept of corporate social responsibility states that businesses not just only focus on their economic activities, but they also give an importance to the social activities of their business. When any business taking decision about their economic activities, they must notice their social activities as well. The firm's next pointer, the firm intellectual capital, considered one of the main factor of competitive advantage and view intellectual capital as a valuable source of information, representing firm capabilities. Intellectual capital is a valuable source of information representing firm capabilities. Intellectual capital plays a vital key role in the firm's sustained competitive advantage. Then the third portion of my research thesis is corporate governance. Corporate governance principles today contain the highest ethical standards to meet the needs of stakeholders. The role of the top management is becoming very important to drag the firm's resources towards environmental and social responsibilities. Concept of corporate social responsibility have been evolving for decades. As early as in 1930, Wendell Berkeley helped educate the businessman to a new sense of social responsibility. The modern concept of social responsibility, however, may be defined by the Howard R. Bowen in 1953 in his book, Bowen's book, in which he gives principles of corporate social responsibility and give focus to the environmental effect of the social responsibility to the business. Now I summarize some various views as to what social responsibility means. Some of the researchers giving view to the social responsibility, but the era of social responsibility start from the Friedman, which give only impact to the profit making. Then it goes to the going beyond to the profit making, which give by David. Then only discussion of going beyond economic and legal requirements discussed by Davis. Then voluntary activities discussed by Manning in his research. Then economic, legal and voluntary activities discussed by Steiner. Then it comes the concentrated circles, which discussed by CED and Davis. Then concern on the board of social system discussed by Walton. Then it comes the social problems areas, number of the responsibilities of social numbers were discussed by Hay. Then the social responsibility overall discussed by the Ackerman. Carroll in 1979 proposed a conceptual model of the corporate social responsibility in which he covered four factors of corporate social responsibility, which economic, legal, ethical and discretionary grounds. The first and the foremost of the social responsibility or factor of the business is that it must be an economic in nature. First of all, there must be a business exist in nature. Then afterwards, any other potentially any other figures come. First of all, business must exist. Then society has sanctioned the economic system by pertaining business to assume the productive role. Then the ethical responsibilities foremost as the stress figure, which many of the philosophers and researchers discuss, but unfortunately it remains unfortunate in the business. Now I discuss the intellectual capital. Intellectual capital is in terms of the organization resource relating to the wealth creation of the investment knowledge, information, intellectual property and experience. There are three categorizations of the intellectual capital, which is human capital, relationship capital and structural capital. Human capital means that how much business invest in their stakeholders, in their board of directors experiences, their workshops and their living standards. And then the relationship capital means that relationship of an organization with their inbound and outbound stakeholders like supplier, distributor, and any other people related to the business. Then it's come the structural capital. Structural capital means that how much business invest in their structure and how to improve their company policies, work culture, and its organization total overall structure. The first trend of the corporate governance is linked with traditional topics such as firm performance, dividend policy, capital structure, cost of capital, earning management. The theory which is mostly used in the first corporate trend is the agency theory. Then the second trend, corporate governance, are linked with multiple issues and taking various theoretical perspectives such as risk taking, tunneling, CSR, corporate social responsibility, investment portfolios, board related issues, financial disaster, and many more. Now I come to the corporate governance reforms in Pakistan. The financial crisis in 1997 seen in Pakistan when the Enron issue rises in 2000, scandal rises in 2001, which give the focus to the academia, regulators, and policymakers to improve governance structure of the companies and brought to light the importance of any effective institutional framework. First code of corporate governance was implemented in 2002 in Pakistan. After a decade, the 2022 corporate code was revised in 2012, in which following points must be noticed. One third of the independent board of directors. Then one of the third member of the board of directors must be independent. Okay. उसके बाद the number of multiple companies director is limited to the 7 companies. It means that director of 7 companies are not more than director in more than 7 companies. Then the durability of the CEO and chairman is withdrawn. At the end of 2017, the mandatory inclusion of the female directors include in the corporate governance code, which shows that there must be one female director in the board of directors. Then in 2020, the ratio of female directors given with the 15%. That there must be a 15% board of directors in the board of directors total number. Now I come to the research gap of my thesis. That why Pakistan? Pakistan is the developing economy with less developed capital structure, poor infrastructure, poor political instability, a weak legal environment, strong stakeholder group, a poor monitoring mechanism, and concentrated ownership. All of which will contribute to conductive environment of Pakistan research. The current study differs from the other studies on the following grounds on the following ways. First, the most intellectual capital research is undertaken in developing countries, mostly with the financial outcomes. The second, some are focused only on the financial sectors in limited SMEs. The third one is that the intellectual capital and CSR studied in Pakistan, which is limited to the SMEs only. The fourth one is the prior research examining the relationship between the gender diversity and corporate social responsibility. That's why I choose the intellectual capital and corporate social responsibility with a moderating effect of gender diversity. The current study expands the various researches by investigating the moderating effect of the independent female directors' role between intellectual capital and corporate social responsibility, which has received less attention in the empirical literature. The intellectual capital and its elements SC and CE has positive significant relationship with firm social responsible behavior. Moreover, the equipment of gender diversity in the boardroom significantly improves the firm's voluntary disclosure. Furthermore, hence the monitoring function regarding the stakeholder interest can better protect the presence of independent female directors in the boardroom. As we know that every research cannot conclude at its best, there must be some limitations in my research also, which I conclude from this slide. This study can certain limitations which allow for further investigation. First, the sample size is too small, hence more questions should be required to generalize the findings. Second, the study samples comprises on the non-financial sectors participants, particularly indirectly financial sectors may be compromised. Furthermore, cross-country analysis may be performed to compare the effectiveness of intellectual capital across nations. In our study, we focused on one component of diversity, which is gender diversity or female director board of female directors, leaving other factors like as qualification and experience. This might be a research constraint in future. The researchers should employ the profitability metrics to evaluate the sustainability of the results and obtain a greater understanding of the result. Thank you.